breaking news which is coming in on the broadcast at this moment. In the Hindenburg allegations against the Adani Group, the SEBI's final order is out, and the regulator has found that allegations made by Hindenburg could not be established. There is no liability on the following, whether it's the Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited, Adani Power Limited, Adani Enterprise Limited, Rajesh Shantilal Adani, Gautam Shantilal Adani, and they have also, in fact, said that no penalty on Adani Group as far as the allegations were made against the group. The SEBI finds no merits in the allegations which were made by the Hindenburg Research, the short sellers, which had come out with a sensational report that then, of course, mandated this investigation. The SEBI says allegations which were made by the Hindenburg Research could not be established against the Adani Group. This is a big clean chit by SEBI to the Adani Group. So news coming in at this moment. SEBI has, the regulator has found that the allegations which were made against the Adani Group in the Hindenburg case, the Hindenburg Research, the short sellers, they stand on, could not be established. There is no penalty as far as the Adani Group is concerned. It's a clean chit for the Adani Group by the market regulator. As far as the Adani Group is concerned, remember the short seller Hindenburg that had created a quite, in fact, a flutter in the market as well, and that mandated the SEBI investigation. The Supreme Court had also given a clean chit as far as the group is concerned, and now what we know is that the SEBI has dismissed the allegations against the Adani Group and the related companies in the group. This happened after, in 2023, US-based short seller firm Hindenburg Research had released a report against the Adani Group, and they had alleged manipulation, stock manipulation, etc. against the group. Now the market regulator has said in its final order, which has been passed on September 18th, that these allegations are unfounded. It's a big clean chit as far as the Adani Group is concerned. Remember, the Adani Group had categorically denied the allegations which were made by the Hindenburg Research, the short seller. Let me very quickly go across to my colleague from NDTV, Profit Charu Singh, who is joining us with more details on this. Charu, big relief and a big clean chit as far as the Adani Group is concerned from the market regulator.
Hi, so the Securities and Exchange Board of India has come out with an order that gives a huge relief to the Adani Group. Let's quickly get over the name of the people who are, named in the order and have gotten a clean chit of Limited, Adani Enterprises Limited, Rajesh Shantilal Adani, Gautam Adani, and Jukshwendra Singh. So what has happened here is, to understand it in an easier way, Hindenburg had come out with a report saying that Adani Group had, transferred or made some transactions of loan amounts through other entities into some other Adani entities, and the money was routed through that entity into other Adani entities. And then it was rerouted to those companies. The loans that were given were repaid back using interest. However, the market regulator, Securities and Exchange Board of India, examined the issue and said that none of the allegations made in terms of related party transactions or unfair trade practices or manipulative market practices can be established. No penalty has been imposed by the market regulator. In fact, one of the major reasons that were used by the market regulator to not impose penalty was about the definition of the related party transactions. So as per the Hindenburg report, these loan amounts which were going forward and backward between these entities were supposedly illegal because they were coming under the related party transaction definition under the listing norms of the market watchdog. However, the market regulator saw that the definition will get an umbrella or a cover of this particular term only when it is seen from the amendment point of view of 2022. If we look at its meaning and definition before the 2022 amendment, we'll come to know that the definition did not actually cover the transaction between a listed entity and an unrelated party. So in that case, it does not really fall under the umbrella term of related party transaction, and hence no penalty can be imposed for doing these transactions between a listed company and unrelated parties.
Right. So, if for the benefit of our viewers, could you just tell us what were the allegations which were made on which SEBI has now given a clean chit to the Adani Group? Remember, it was the short seller Hindenburg Research which had made these certain allegations in their report, and at that point of time, it also created a huge flutter as far as the share market is concerned in India.
So when the report had come out, the major allegation was that the loan amount that was being diverted from the Adani Group companies between several Adani entities only were going through third-party channels of some other companies that were being, used to transfer this money in a way. This becomes illegal under the Indian law as per the, the SEBI norms that are in place right now. However, at the time these transactions took place and when Hindenburg came out with its investigation report, the definition did not cover these transactions in that manner, and that is why SEBI is saying, since the definition does not have a retrospective effect, we cannot say that any law was violated essentially, and that is why none of the allegations hold any value right now.
Okay. Before I let you go, let me ask you this. So what happens from here on? The pending allegations, the investigation is all has been wrapped up after this order?
No penalty on the Adani Group company. There has been no violation established. No order has been made against them. No violation has been established. So it is a huge relief. Nothing regulatory or scrutinizing in nature is going to come for the Adani Group from the regulator's side at all.
Right. Thank you, Charu, for joining us with all those details on this big story, which we're breaking here on NDTV. The Adani Group has gotten a big relief from the market regulator SEBI. It has found no merit in the allegations which were made against the Adani Group by the Hindenburg Research, the short sellers, which shut shop, in fact, a few months back. The SEBI has said that allegations could not be established, no penalty on the Adani Group, and SEBI has given a clean chit as far as the Adani Group is concerned. What we know at this moment is that SEBI has concluded its final investigation. The order has come out on 18th of this month, on 18th September, that is today. And in that, it has been found that the allegations could not be established. As a result, there is no liability which is attributed to the Adani Group, and no penalties have been imposed. In fact, this also means that the money transaction in these had returned with interest before the investigation even started. Vishwanath Nair from NDTV Profit is also joining us at this moment. Vishwanath, let me understand this from you. After this final report of the market regulator SEBI, does this mean that this whole chapter, which started with the allegations which was made by the short seller Hindenburg Group, has come to an end?
Right. So as we were discussing with some legal experts a little while ago on Profit as well, the conversation has firmly ended. That's the sort of verdict that's coming in from legal experts who are also looking at these orders. There are two specific orders with respect to related party transactions. In both these orders, what SEBI has pointed out is that there's absolutely no violation of the related party transaction norms. which are the norms under which this investigation was being conducted by the markets regulator. And because there are no violations, the regulator has, of course, not levied any kind of penalty on any of the notices, which include Adani Power, Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, and SEZ Limited, as well as Gautam Adani and Jukshendra Singh, the CFO. After pretty prolonged investigations, have come to this conclusion that there's been no violation of these norms. In fact, the allegations that were posed do not merit too much. SEBI is pointing out, of course, that once the allegations have been proven to be incorrect, according to SEBI, the matter is over, and it's likely that, as for now, the Hindenburg saga seems to have come to an end.
There was also a lot of pressure as far as SEBI is concerned in this case. What does this order also mean for the market regulator as far as this whole investigation is concerned, Vishwanath?
Right. So, if you were to look at the way the time that it has taken to conclude these investigations, right? These are transactions that occurred a few years ago between FY 2018-19 to 22-23. Since then, of course, these investigations have been ongoing. And even after this prolonged period, there's been no firm establishment of the allegations. There were questions also asked about SEBI's own sort of competency in this matter. There was a case that was going on at the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was held that the market regulator is best placed to look at any kind of market manipulation or fraudulent activity that might be going on in corporate India. This order now very clearly puts all of those issues to rest. It says that, according to the market regulator, there were loans that were given from one company to another, and they were also repaid within the specific period of time under which this investigation was being undertaken. And therefore, what SEBI believes is that there's been no manipulation, there's been no fraudulent activity, and there definitely is no violation of the related party transaction. Remember, the related party transaction specifically is a very, very serious concern as far as corporate India is concerned. And the regulator is very, very cognizant of the fact that these allegations, these kind of transactions should not be allowed. Unreported related party transactions should not be allowed in the Indian corporate space, specifically the listed space. Now that SEBI is conducting this investigation, it is saying that no such transactions have taken place. In fact, the transactions that have been part of these allegations for over 2 years now, they don't conform to the definition of related party.
Thank you, Vishwanath, for joining us with all those details. Mr. J.N. Gupta is joining us at this moment. He's the former director of SEBI. So thank you so much for speaking to us. Mr. Gupta, let me begin by asking you, the final report of the market regulator has found that the allegations against the Adani Group have no legs to stand on. What does this mean for the Adani Group? Does this conclude that the allegations made by the short seller Hindenburg Group was a hit job, some sort of a hit job on the Adani Group?
First of all, in last 2-3 years, since the Hindenburg report came, gradually almost everybody had come to a conclusion that Adani's were not on the wrong side. But it was waiting for the final order, because if you see everywhere, the business and the life has become normal. This order puts a final seal on the fact that there was no truth or no fact or nothing alarming in the Hindenburg report. That is one. The second thing is this: because of the Hindenburg report, certain development plans or certain things had taken a setback at Adani, and nobody can compensate them for the loss that they had. But that is what is the risk of doing a business when you have got somebody who alleges something. But it exposes a couple of things. First, it exposes that we have a system where we believe so many things without facts. Whatever facts or narratives are weaved and given to us, at times we jump at that and conclude on something which is not correct. The second thing is this: our legal system needs to improve because it has taken more than 2 years to come to this conclusion. So this is where we say. And lastly, we would say that somewhere down the line, the retail investors which could not sustain, they panicked because of the Hindenburg report and they liquidated their investment in a panic mode. They have lost. Others who bought at the panic mode times, they have gained. But those investors who believe Hindenburg to be a gospel truth, they have lost. So somewhere the system is there, but I don't think there could be any regulation against panic selling. There can be no regulation that if you are sold in the panic, tomorrow you will be compensated. There can't be any regulation like this. But the fact is this, that such reports do cause problems in the market stability, investor confidence. Somewhere but I don't think anybody can give any conclusive proof at the time of report that report is humbug. Even my company came out with the report later, but we said that we do not find anything which is new. Although we could not give blank chit or something clear chit to Adani because we had no data. But we said that whatever is Hindenburg written, there was nothing which was not there in public domain. Secondly, Hindenburg's allegations were such that they were applying the current law and actions taken 10 years before that current law to justify their allegation, which is not a right thing. So, some in substance it is this, that this
Right.
type of things will continue to happen in the market.
All right, Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for speaking to us here on NDTV on this big story that we are breaking. SEBI, in fact, has junked the Hindenburg charges on the Adani Group. It's a big Clean-Chit which is coming in for the Adani Group after the allegations were made by the Hindenburg, the short seller Hindenburg Research in 2023. Let me quickly go across to our colleague from NDTV Profit, Shrimi Chaudhary, who is with us at this moment. Shrimi, just to understand this again, this closes this whole chapter of the allegations which were made against the Adani Group. At that point of time, a lot of flutter in the share market as well. It reimposes the fate of the market and the market regulator in the Adani Group.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see the series of events, the entire matter got intensified in February 2023 when a PIL was filed at Supreme Court asking to set up a committee to investigate the claims of Hindenburg Research. And in fact, Supreme Court asked SEBI to complete the probe on the allegation made in the report within 2 months. And later on, somewhere in March 2023, the 6-member expert panel submitted its initial report before Supreme Court in a sealed cover, and the report explicitly mentioned that there was no evidence.
I request you to stay on with me. We are being joined by Mr. J. Anand Dehadrai, a lawyer, in the Supreme Court. So thank you so much for speaking to us. As a constitutional lawyer, how do you view this SEBI final order giving a clean chit to the Adani Group?
Hi, Ankit. Good evening. This has massive ramifications, both from a legal perspective and also from a market perspective. And I think this will impact the entire bouquet of Adani stocks tomorrow. This is possibly the highest, the best quality clean chit that any body corporate in India can hope for. After all, it comes from the premier organization that determines issues concerning corporate governance, which is SEBI. So in my opinion, I would place this clean chit at an even higher pedestal than what the Honorable Supreme Court had given to the Adani Group some months ago. And the reason for that is that SEBI has the requisite tools and expertise to conduct a very deep inquiry. So it is literally like walking, facing the ultimate test and coming out clean. So I think this puts to rest the months and months of unfounded allegations and years of unfounded allegations that the Hindenburg short sellers were basically peddling against the Adani Group. And now I hope that the investigating agencies in India finally figure out who these malicious actors were, both within India and abroad, and bring them to book. That why were these individuals trying to essentially profit off of the misery of Indian investors, A, and B, Was there a larger motive to destabilize the Indian economy? So these are very important questions, and I think this is a watershed moment. It's a very, very big corporate event, at least, in my view.
Right. Let me, like you were saying, it's a watershed movement. Mr. Dehatra, do you believe that this case now sets a precedent on how the market regulator should deal with such short sellers, their reports against, big groups and companies?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And let's not forget that these short sellers, no matter which part of the world they operate from, they are no good Samaritans. They are not looking to help investors in India at all. They are only looking to profit. So I think in terms of now setting the stage, I think SEBI has acted in a manner that is most mature, that was expected of it, as the premier regulating agency for matters concerning securities law and corporate governance. So I think this sets out a very strong precedent, sends a message to bad actors around the world that if you start targeting Indian companies or if you try and destabilize Indian institutions or the Indian economy, we will look into those allegations, but we will also come out very quickly and we will explain to the world whether there was any merit in those allegations or not.
Right, Mr. Dehatra, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV on this big story which we are breaking here on the broadcast. SEBI's final order, a big clean chit for the Adani Group. We'll get you more details on this at this moment.